What's up, guys? Welcome to the new weekly outlook. As always, we are starting with the economic news calendar. As we can see right here, Monday, Tuesday, we don't have any news, focusing on the equities open at 9:30 New York time zone. On Wednesday, we have the big FOMC red folder news, and we need to be careful on the Wednesday and Tuesday because it is the day prior those big three red folder news. On Thursday, we don't have any major news except the unemployment claims, which is the red folder as well, but it's not the big three. And on the Friday as well, we are just positioning for the equities open because there are no news right here. Let's start with the BTC because it is the most boring asset currently in the market. So let's just get over with that. The whole crypto market is really boring so far. Nothing is going on chain, and not many action is here, but we have the monthly breakaway gap that should not get filled into. On the weekly, we have the push context on the lower side, internal range liquidity towards the external, but last week or this week, because the candle is still open, we didn't swap the previous week high nor the previous week low. But if you go to the Ethereum, we can see that the Ethereum swapped the previous week high, so we have the SMT right here. This is giving the FEG the second chance to move lower as a 2 candle rejection. But on the daily, we are pretty chopped. We are just in consolidation. Bearish levels were failing because this FEG was expected to deliver lower from the weekly and monthly context, but it failed, and now we're just shopping. This is unrelatable price action. This is untradeable. So personally, just waiting for the big move down to then get the confirmation, the order flow shift. Basically, the same pattern is everywhere on the crypto state, same as in Ethereum, on Solana, and all the other altcoins. On Hype, we shared this signal. We had the weekly push context to the upper side. Our entry was at 29.54 mark right here. And this weekly was the buying zone. We had some drawdown, but eventually we delivered towards the context high. The position is up 32%. As we can see on the daily, we had some nice moves to the upper side, fair value areas getting created and bullish order flow respected. We failed to close above the external right here because of the sweep, but we might just retrace into the daily imbalance and then continue to move higher from there. Let's go to the king of the market, DXY. On the DXY, we can see on the monthly that we are sweeping this low and then delivering towards the range high right here. Currently, we are running that swing high, and if we continue to be strong like this, monthly FEG is expected to be the draw on liquidity. On the weekly, pretty same stuff. There are no resistances right here. This weekly candle closed above the swing high, making it a fair value area. We can eventually just retrace into that fair value area and continue to move higher towards the monthly FEG. On the daily, same stuff right here, no resistances anywhere. Daily closed with the strength above the swing high, and we can expect maybe some FEGs to get created right here and then to deliver towards the monthly FEG. With the DXY bullish, I'm bearish on the rest of the market, forex market, for example on the euro, Great Britain pound, and all the others. Euro is the weakest one currently, weaker than the GBP, but like you can see here, the next draw on liquidity is definitely this swing low on the monthly, and then we'll see how we react off of those lows, because we can eventually just sweep it and continue to move higher depending on the DXY. We are going to see some reactions definitely from this monthly FEG. Let's go to the commodities. Gold and silver were losing the value pretty strong. The monthly is retracing. We had a huge gap up for the open, but we are failing to continue the move, so we are retracing lower. On the weekly time frame, we are definitely going for the previous week low, just by the looks of the previous week candle closure. Right here. On the daily, we failed to close above this bullish FEG, which I shared in the outlook last time, because if we closed above that, we were expecting this high, but we failed and adapted. Then we created a follow through this breakaway gap, and we were expecting this swing low to get taken. Gold is much weaker than the silver because of the daily FEG right here. The silver does not have any FEGs in this place. Daily swing low is getting swept right here, and same on the silver, which means that we might have some retracements. But if you go to the 4-hour time frame, we can see the order flow is also bearish, so the biggest retrace we might get is to get inside of this 4-hour FEG, which should deliver us lower right here. Then we are bearish on those two. Let's see what is the oil doing, because the oil is a big theme right now because of the war stuff and everything. On the monthly, we can see that it is currently sweeping the swing high just here. On the weekly time frame, we can see that we are running the previous week high and leaving the breakaway gap right here, which will not get filled, and especially because of that huge gap up and closure above the previous week high. We are expected for this high to get taken at 120. On the daily time frame, we have the bullish order flow. We have the context, this daily push, and I was demanding more confirmation because of the monthly sweep, and now we are getting it. We also created this breakaway gap, which should not get filled into. Also, the previous day high was rent by the body closure, so this next daily candle is expected to just continue going higher. On the 4-hour as well, we have the push context entry levels that I shared in my Telegram and Twitter, and we are moving higher from there. I think it's 9% move, somewhere around that. Also, it was supported by the fair value area, and now we created the new fair value area right here, new bullish support levels to continue higher from. We'll see how the oil opens up at the open, but we're expected for the price to deliver towards this buy side on the weekly. And let's see what are the indices doing. Indices are in the 3-month FEG. We are in a bullish state, and this is just a retracement for the inefficiency to fill, so for the price to rebalance. We had the fill, and here is the SMT. It did not get filled because the S&P is much stronger currently, while the NQ is tagged into that. So this is the bullish reason to go higher. We just need the lower time frame confirmations for that. On the monthly as well, we are just really bullish order flow and everything. And now we are sweeping the swing low, where the institutions are pairing their buy orders at the sell side, and we are respecting it so far. Same stuff on the right side. Bullish, sweeping the lows with the SMT to pair the orders, and this is just a retracement where the institutions are bidding for the big orders, where we can then continue higher. But as well, we need the lower time frame confirmations, lower time frame order flow shifts for that to be valid. On the weekly, we have the nasty range, nasty consolidation from the start of the October. But now we are sweeping the range low, which is nice to see, because in consolidation states, we are always moving from the range low, if you are sweeping the external, so from the external range low currently, to the equilibrium of the range, and then if we continue to move higher than towards the external of the range, so towards the buy side. So that scenario is aligning well for the longs, but again we just need that lower time frame confirmation. On the daily the price is chopped up. Look at this delivery. This is nasty for the daily chart of the most tradable assets, NQ and S&P 500, but it is what it is. By the current daily closure, this is like really heavy candle, and the body was closed below the previous day low, same on the right side. We were expected the price to deliver towards this swing low. And if you go to the 4-hour time frame, we have the bearish order flow legs, FEGs, to retrace into and continue move lower. Same here. But because we're setting up potential bullish scenarios from all the hard time frames, we might just get a sweep of those lows and then start to create the bullish arguments, bullish order flow shifts, to then continue higher. But firstly, we are going for this low, most definitely. So yeah, this will be it from this outlook. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something new. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on the Telegram, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. And let me know if you like weekly outlook streams each Sunday. Let me know in the comments. Safe trading next week. Peace.